Welcome back. Florida has a monkey problem, and it could in fact be a deadly one. Running loose in the Florida wild is a species of monkeys called the rhesus macaques, and they carry a virus certain to kill anyone who contracts it and fails to get treatment. And tonight in our new Full Circle report, we are giving multiple sides to this developing threat. Our Michael Paluska with how it started and why biologists worry the public is now in danger.
It was crazy, and you really don't know what to do when something like that happens. It seemed like a scene from Jumanji.
It was one of the scariest moments of my life. I had no other thought other than just get me away from here.
Janie Massarelli and her boyfriend, J.C. Castillo, visited Silver Springs State Park in Ocala for the glass-bottom boats and the beauty of the spring-fed river.
They were pretty aggressive.
There's another one.
But in February, they got a close encounter they never expected, facing down a troop of 40 to 50 rhesus macaques on the boardwalk.
And as soon as he turns around and looks at me, he starts charging.
I thought it was gonna reach out and grab me or something. That's why I jumped to the side, because you can see me go off.
I told my student when she said, hey, I want to work on these monkeys, I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be okay.
University of Florida biologist Dr. Steve Johnson was part of a group of scientists that studied rhesus macaques inside the park. They estimated that 30% of the monkeys were carriers for the herpes B virus.
And a very small percentage of them shed a potentially lethal herpes virus. It's very low incidence in the population, but the consequences are very, very dire if someone was to get, let's say, bitten or scratched and contract that herpes virus.
If you do get bit, the chances of the person dying are almost 100% if you don't get treated.
Absolutely. It is a fatal disease. The final stage is when it actually attacks the nerve cells, cause the nerve damage and nerve death.
Infectious disease doctor Sally Alraba says even with modern treatments, 20% of infected patients die. The virus ravages the nervous system, even leaving survivors with permanent debilitating side effects.
A paralysis or a seizure disorder, memory problems, or even personality changes.
The monkeys roam this entire state park. It is their habitat, but rarely do they come into contact with humans. Biologists warn that could be changing. There's an estimated 200 monkeys in the park right now, but by 2022, that number could hit 400.
These rhesus macaques are survivors. They are the most widely globally distributed non-human primate. They're smart, they adapt.
The monkeys native to Southeast Asia have made the entire state of Florida their new home. Rogue males on the hunt for new territory break out of the park and have been spotted from Ocala to Key West and the Tampa Bay area. A Facebook page with 85,000 likes called The Mystery Monkey of Tampa Bay captivated the nation when a rhesus monkey roamed our area from 2009 to 2012.
Long overdue warning to the residents of St. Petersburg, Florida.
Stephen Colbert even getting into the action with a recurring segment called Monkey on the Lam.
This is Monkey on the Lam.
It is amazing to look back at the history and see how we got to this point. In the 1930s, an enterprising tourboat captain, Colonel Toohey, tried luring tourists to the spring, so he released 6 monkeys on an island in the park. His vision: take tourists on an African-style jungle cruise, but he overlooked one thing.
They are quite good swimmers.
They escaped, so Toohey released 6 more. Unchecked, the population exploded. Kayakers and boat captains fed the monkeys for decades. It is illegal now, but people still do. Massarelli watched as a private boater gave a monkey an apple.
I was freaked out because then it was looking in our kayak do you have any food too?
From 1984 to 2012, trappers removed approximately 1,000 monkeys from the park. And when the public learned those monkeys were sold to biomedical research facilities, that trapping stopped. Even today, the public is split.
The shock of their human faces, I think, for me that was incredible. I would hate to see them leave the area.
I think try and keep them here and keep them healthy. They become to live here, so let them live.
An imbalance in nature, and it's not natural. They know what they can do. It's a question of would the public be up in arms if they did what was needed to be done.
In the U.S., there are no documented cases in the wild of anyone dying from herpes B. Since 1932, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports 50 people, all in lab settings, contracted the virus. Nearly half died. The CDC says in 1997, a researcher died after bodily fluids from an infected monkey splashed into her eye. Alligator attacks are far more common. Numbers from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission show since 1948, 410 people were bitten by alligators, 25 died. Looking back at their video, Massarelli and Castillo feel lucky.
I didn't know that it was deadly. So that's why whenever it started coming after us, I freaked out.
So what is the plan for the monkeys? Trap them, sterilize the females, euthanize them? Despite multiple requests, neither the FWC or the Department of Environmental Protection would give us details. With more and more encounters going viral, researchers think it's only a matter of time before the statistics aren't in the state's favor.
More animals, more potential for negative interactions with people. They can be aggressive, and you don't want to anger those monkeys.
In Marion County, Michael Paluska, ABC Action News.